Well, I have a secret. I hate talking to people.
Big surprise there.
Big surprise.
So how can you sell anything if you don't like talking to people?
Add the value that they're looking for. And the value is, it's not only what your product can help them with.
Then you want to build that know, like, and trust. And that means caring about other people, right? Digging into their pains, talking about their dreams, wants, and desires, and those things.
That's a big thing. I want to make that distinction is we're talking about what it's going to do for them. It's not the features, right? Oh, it's this color and it's how is this going to make their life better?
Yeah. And on top of that, right, like it's asking the right questions. And you don't know what questions to ask if you're doing all the talking.
Do you want to close more sales in your network marketing business? Today, we're going to talk about the best way to do just that. And stick around because by the end of this video, you'll uncover the ultimate strategy that successful network marketers use to close sales efficiently and effectively. If you're ready to transform your sales approach and achieve remarkable results, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to stay updated. All right, ladies, let's get into it. What is the number one secret that these people need to know to close more sales in their business?
You need to understand where they're at and what they're struggling with and provide the value that they're searching for.
Value,
So
absolutely.
Value is key. And removing the hidden agenda, the desire for all the sales, because the sales will come, the new customers will come, the recruits will come if you can provide the solutions. As network marketers, you are a problem solver, okay? And as a problem solver, you need to understand, number one, what is the problem that your perfect prospect, that your customer is going through? What are they searching for? How are they feeling? What emotions are they going through? And then if you know exactly where they're at, what they're feeling, what they're struggling with, and what their dreams and desires are, then you know what content to put out on social media that is going to help and serve them without the hidden agenda that I need more sales, I need more customers, because if you have that hidden agenda that I need to get more sales, I need to hit this target by the end of this month, it's going to come across in everything that you do. So when you remove that hidden agenda and you come with the energy of, I just want to help these people, I have the solution, I know what they're going through, I know what my perfect prospect, and think about one person. When you think about one person, when you know who your avatar is, when you know who that person is, often when network marketers they've struggled with a scarcity mindset, thinking, but if I just speak to one person, what about all the other thousands of people who have the same problem? Well, when you speak to one person, the message is going to land on thousands and thousands of ears. But you try and speak to thousands, no one's going to hear it. Add the value that they're looking for. And the value is, it's not only what your product can help them with.
Yeah, and to that point, I think it's like you need to listen more than you speak. A lot of times when we're going to close a prospect or, we're having an enrollment conversation, we think that like driving the conversation means that we're the one doing all the talking. But if you're doing all the talking, chances are that person's checking out because they need to be the one doing the speaking.
Yeah. And on top of that, right, like it's asking the right questions. And you don't know what questions to ask if you're doing all the talking.
Yep.
So it's the listening and then asking the right questions so that you know what value they need. You know what solution is that they're actually looking for, they're needing, the pains that they're having, and then what they want out of that.
Well, I have a secret. I hate talking to people.
Big surprise there.
Big surprise.
So how can you sell anything if you don't like talking to people? So my way of not just selling, because to sell anything is not about selling. So the first step is growing the right audience. The second step, building influence over that audience. And sales, they will come from following these two steps. So knowing these steps, I didn't have to talk to people at all. So this is my magic power. And I was able to build successful network marketing business, and I call it passive method. I would show up on social media via post or a video and share just, a piece of value. Would it be a benefit or my personal experience, whether it was bad or good, right? We only kind of tend to share a good experience, but a lot of time people will appreciate your honesty, even if you share a bad experience or not so expected experience. So I would show up. I would probably learn something from a book or podcast or another influencer on social media, and I'll be like, dang, my audience would love to know that. And I'll turn around and make video the exact same day, and people will be like, oh my gosh, this was so cool. How do you know all this stuff? And I actually would share how I know the stuff. I don't try to be that guru or whatever that knows everything. I would say, I just learned it from such and such. Go check it out, right? People appreciate you just for being there for them. And I didn't have any agenda. Oh, I'm just telling you so you can go and buy my stuff. No, I would actually go and send them to the people who can get more value. And that builds that know, like, and trust and influence. I was able to sell a ton of stuff without actually talking to people at all.
So with that, maybe let's explore some practical ways that we can start to actually implement this.
I think number one, you've got to know who your audience is, right? That's the number one thing where you start, because again, we've talked about that you don't want to recruit or everybody's not your prospect, right?
Yeah.
You waste a lot of time. So education is the next piece, educating, providing value, all of those things. Then you want to build that know, like, and trust. And that means caring about other people, right? Digging into their pains, talking about their dreams, wants, and desires and those things. And really not talking about where the berry came from or, you know, whatever. It's more about what it actually will help them with.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you've had a personal experience with a product, I have an example of this. You know, Adrienne's always got, we call her our mom sometimes. She's always got like a charging pack or like, you know, Band-Aids. She's like this Girl Scout mom, right? Always prepared. And the rest of us are like, Adrienne, help, right? Like my phone's dead. So, you know, like knowing that she's got, and I was like, Adrienne, I asked her about the battery pack yesterday. I was like, Adrienne, you know, what's that battery pack that you have? Because I know she's tested it out.
Yeah.
And I know that her, like what she likes and what I like is similar and that she's done all the work. So all I have to do is say, Adrienne, what's the link for the battery pack, right? And that's the kind of relationship you want to build with your audience where there's
She's our tester.
yeah, she's
All
the
the time.
tester. She's the authority, right? Like, because she's tested out all the battery packs. She's always traveling. She's always doing sports.
Gemsley's goggles.
Right.
You
Like-
sent me the link for that too.
It's like she's always doing her thing, right?
So she's
That's
our
kind of-
influencer.
Yeah, yeah, and that, you know, I have the experience with all of you that, you know, there's been like, Kat found these mangoes at Costco, right? And I'm like, where'd you get these? Because I have this huge sweet tooth, right? But she's providing value. She's talking about the benefits. She's like, oh, I eat these because then I don't eat much, you know, as much candy.
And that's a big thing. I want to make that distinction is we're talking about what it's going to do for them. It's not the features, right? Oh, it's this color and it's how is this going to make their life better?
And I think where network marketers drop the ball, like if you want my bottom line, like where everybody is totally screwing up their business, they don't spend enough time actually building their relationship. And like Kat said, you don't have to talk to them one-on-one.
Right.
But building the relationship, she's doing it one-to-many, which is what we want to teach all of you how to do, right? Because building it one-to-many is so much easier than jumping on 25 Zooms. You only have 24 hours, right? So if you're going to take all of that time and jumping on with one-to-one, it's going to take more time. But in your live videos, in your posts, in everything that you're doing on social media, you're talking to that person. Like Fran said, you're talking to one person. You're saying, I know this is how you feel. You're not saying, hey guys, I know this is how y'all feel, right? Like you could say that. But if I say to Fran straight to her, hey Fran, I know how you're feeling. Like I've been through this, right? Like this is what happened. This is where I found this product. This has worked for me. Now, I don't know if it's going to work for you the same, right? Make sure you're not just, you know, you need this kind of thing, but it may be a solution for you. And
But
that's
stick with
really
the feelings.
where, the feelings.
And not the science.
Yeah.
People couldn't
Nobody
give two
cares.
hoots
They don't
about
care.
the science.
Yep.
You know, or any, you know, studies or all of that. And people
Now
think
you
that
will
that's-
have that one personality that does,
You know,
but
and
Yeah.
they
Scientists.
may come to you and say, but
Send them
how
to
does
somebody
this
else.
work? And then that's when you're going to give them that information.
send them the tools.
Send them the tool to give them the info.
Absolutely.
You don't need to be the
But
scientist
The
explaining
first
it.
connection is going to be through emotion. Always.
Yeah.
It's going to be through emotion. People are going to like, she gets me, she understands me, she knows exactly
And
how
they
I'm
know,
feeling.
they know when you care about somebody. And I could give you a perfect example of this. I have some personal things going on with my son right now. And I have 2 actual people trying to recruit me into their teams, right? I got on the call and talked about my son, and then I was sold to for an hour, right? Like, it's like, are you for real right now? Like the whole time I just felt, I literally just told you like this is a huge thing, right? And then I just got sold
You
over and
told
over
them
and over
that's
again.
what
Like,
occupies
yeah.
your world
Yeah.
right now. And
Yeah.
they
Right
totally
now,
ignored
like they
it.
totally ignored it and just went into
Yeah.
what they wanted. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
Instead
it's
of listening,
Right.
people don't listen.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're not interested in people. They want to be interesting.
And
Yeah.
people pick up on that.
Yeah,
People
absolutely.
pick
They
up on
can
it,
feel
and it's
it.
a major turnoff.
Yeah.
Because then they go from like, oh my gosh, I felt special because you wanted to get on a call with me and share this with me, but I'm telling you about what's happening in my life, and you're bypassing that and you're going straight into the sale. So this tells me that you are being disingenuous, that all you care about is your commission, and that this whole time when I thought I was special because, oh, I want to work with you, no, it really is disingenuous. And people,
And you can feel it. Yeah, intention that you put that out there. Like, you know, when you get on the call with somebody, or when you're doing the live video, or you're doing the post, the intention in which you do something is how somebody else receives it. Because you can tell when you're reading a post if it was meant for you, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I needed this today, right? Like, you know,
So
thanks for putting
what
that
came
out.
to mind, it's not what you say, it's how you make people feel that makes huge difference. So in your case, they made you feel totally ignored. And no matter how amazing their opportunity is after that, or what their product is, whatever, they're gonna blow it up in a couple years, right? Ground floor as always. But to you, it didn't feel that way because they disregarded your situation. Now you're like, I don't want to be part of it, right?
Yeah,
It's
like
just,
it's too much to even
no matter
deal
how
with.
good it is,
Right.
sounds on paper, I'm done.
Yeah, and I've personally done that to people before in the past when I didn't know these skills, right? Like when I didn't understand how
all have.
the process worked, because that's what I was taught. Like, you know, listen, but then make sure you do your pitch, right? Or whatever. Make sure you share the opportunity, because you never know when somebody is ready,
Now,
right? Which is true.
if they had spent an hour talking to you about your son and how they can support you and how are you feeling, and say, hey, you know, I was actually going to talk to you, but that's really not important.
Yeah, and it's not a good
It's
time.
not-
yeah,
now's
I
not
can
a good
see
time
where
for
this
you.
isn't, you know.
And I'm thinking about you, and I'm praying for you, and I'm praying for your son. If they'd
A
done
month later,
that,
you will call them.
if
and
they'd
say,
done
"Hey,
that,
can you give me that
when the right
information
time
now?"
was right, you would have been, I'm in.
Yeah.
You know, sign me up.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just in the intention
Yeah.
in which we do something.
Absolutely.
So listening with those 2 ears is super important. And then you do have to ask for the sale, you know? And one thing that's super important in this whole thing is if you say to them after you've done the discovery part and listening to the person, if you say to them, you know, there's actually a couple ways I can help you. Is it okay if I go ahead and share that with you now? Right? Because you want that invitation
Like a
to share.
segue. Yeah,
It's-
transition.
It's like, and when they say that, you know, yes, I would love to hear more, you know, they might not have been as interested, but because they gave you the permission, that's opened up their mind, right? And they want all of the information now. Because when we just dive into the pitch, like, Carrie, you're never going to guess. I have this Spider-Man berry from, you know, China, whatever, right? That is amazing. You're
a
gonna-
Chinese Spider-Man berry.
If Adrian said to us, I have this Chinese berry, we'll be like,
Oh, yes.
I've tested it already.
Now, because she built that influence and trust with us, because anything she will tell us, we're like, drop the link, girl.
Drop the link.
Drop the link.
Totally.
But if it was someone totally that we have no idea who it is, and no matter what your berry's made of, I'm not buying them.
Right. Yeah, it's just,
Is
just
this
how it works.
berry really going to make me shoot webs? So today's discussion has highlighted that providing value is the most powerful secret to closing more sales in less time. It's about understanding your customers, offering solutions that truly meet their needs, and building lasting relationships. Don't forget to join our free online community with over 10,000 network marketers just like you to discover the secrets to grow a massive business using social media and automation. Find the link in the description below, and we'll see you there.
If you're perfect prospect,
Whoa.
We heard it. I don't think they did.
There was a bubble in my belly.
Yeah, it went.
It was like,